So would I ever do drag? The reason I wanted to make this video is that back when I lived in LA, I went on a few dates with this guy who was a working actor in LA, and it didn't work out, just wasn't the right fit. I wasn't feeling the chemistry, whatever, but he had played RuPaul, I guess, in like a documentary or like, I don't know if it was like one of those short like A&E biography shows or like E or whatever, but he had to like play RuPaul in a short scene as a drag queen. And I guess we were talking about that, and he had asked me if I had ever done drag. And at the time it seemed like such an odd question because I was like, do most gay men do drag? Like, I just always assumed drag was like a very, very small minority. So for him to ask, I was like, do so many gay men do drag that like this is something that's a common question? I don't know. But he asked that, and so I thought it would be interesting to make a video about this. The answer is, I haven't done drag, by the way. And I don't think I ever would. And it's because I'm not really a big fan of drag queen culture. And before some of you are like, oh my God, you have internalized homophobia, blah, blah, blah. I first off want to point out, I also am not at all into sports culture, which is like the height of, masculinity culture. I think sports are so stupid. I think it's so boring to watch. I have a lot of theories too about sports, especially the NFL. I have a theory that in the next like 20 to 50 years, the NFL will either get abolished or will drastically change, just because to me the whole thing is so weird. Like, these men physically like abuse their bodies for the sake of profit and for people to be entertained, and there's mental health effects if they get enough concussions and that kind of thing. I also always think about the racial aspect. Most of them are men of color. They get auctioned off to different teams just to run around on fields for the profit of old white men. Like, there's something about it that feels very, familiar to me historically. So I'm just not like a sports guy. So I want to say that so that people aren't like, oh my God, like you just hate it because it's a gay culture thing. I am not a fan of drag queen culture because I feel like it's a way for men to feel beautiful, feel validated, and feel special, like have a presence in the room, have their presence felt and seen in a room, that they have to dress up as this character. They have to dress up as a woman, that they have to put pounds of makeup and wigs. And there's something about that to me as a gay person that feels very sad. And it feels very like repetitive of the legacy, the taboo legacy of being gay, which is that like, you're not supposed to be gay. It's much easier, much better to just be a woman. I think it comes from a place of like, women's beauty is celebrated in a traditional sense, their physical beauty, and obviously you can point to like misogyny and sexism and objectification as a source of that, so it's not all great stuff, but there's something to me very sad about like a gay man needing to, or feeling special, feeling beautiful by transforming into a female persona or a female character. Why can't we just be beautiful authentically as we are? Like, why can't we feel charisma or a big personality through that instead of like turning into a character? For me, as a gay person, I want to, and that's part of the reason for this entire channel, like I want to show that in my authentic skin as a gay person, I can show that I'm multidimensional. I can be empathetic, intellectual. I can present myself in a way physically that I like, that I appreciate, and that hopefully other people appreciate. I want to do that authentically in my own skin because I want to show that being gay is not taboo, and that I don't have to transform myself to be beautiful, either literally or figuratively. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I have a habit of overthinking things, but this stuff I think is important to talk about. I think it's super important. For the record, somebody like James Charles, this makeup YouTuber that I mentioned before, that I think is great because he uses makeup. I think culturally, women use makeup to accentuate beauty or like lift beauty. Obviously, you can still claim that's superficial in the same way you can claim plastic surgery superficial, but I at least appreciate that he's still being who he is, and he just uses makeup as like a fun thing to do, and to sort of amplify his own facial features. that to me is different. I think for me, it's the idea of somebody adding so many layers, not just makeup, but wigs and stuffing their bra, maybe stuffing their pants to have a bigger butt, wearing a big crazy outfit, all to sort of distract from reality. And there's a lot of people who dress up like that. I mean, you could talk about goths, you could talk about clowns, you could talk about a million different things. But I guess as a gay person, I feel like there's a reason we have this in our little universe. I think historically, a lot of gay men wish that they had been women. Like, I remember as a little kid thinking my life would have been a lot easier as a girl. But now as an adult, I'm like, I can create the life I want for myself, regardless of gender, regardless of sexuality. It doesn't mean it's always easy and that you always get what you want, but I want to do my best to present myself as a new type of beauty, or a new type of something that hasn't publicly existed really before, because there has been so much shame and such a taboo element around being gay. I want to present myself as maybe like a gentle kind of boy and have that be seen, have that be perceived in a positive way. What do you guys think about this?